All right, all right. So I'm going to share a little bit about what I'm doing with Bruce McKagan and He's Alive and how we're using Go High Level with the group here. I'm in the Global Business Network group that we're putting together to discuss how we can help businesses and develop businesses assistance using technology and networking and how we're going to support people. On the call, I got a few different people that we'll introduce as we go, and probably they'll have questions, but they're colleagues and friends and other believers that I do studies with and go to church with that I have a lot of input and want trying to learn. So I just want to share really quick what I've done so far for Bruce, and this is just a quick glimpse of He's Alive and the how it works. The or Go High Level, I mean, Go High Level is the marketing platform. It's an automation marketing and sales platform that I'm really trying to develop as software as a service for other businesses where they can access the tool through my application and get access to the tool where I can support them and help them market their business. One of the businesses I'm working with is He's Alive, which is a rock opera, which is really interesting. And I'll let Bruce go into more detail, but I want to share real quick some of the features that I've done recently. And this is different images and different videos, MP4s that we brought in that we're using for the video. These are the recordings of some of his songs, some of the people that are actually been put on the blog uh, to show their support and what they've done as part of this development, which is quite extensive if you look at it. He's been working on this for like 5 years now. It's really been 50 years in the making since he saw Super Jesus Christ Superstar. But here's a list of all the MP4s that are in the system, and I can use Go High Level to do quite a dramatically amount of different functions. One of them that we're working on right now is he has the a workflow, which I wanted to really go into detail a little bit because people don't really understand what AI is and automation, uh, uh, intelligence, automatically doing things, having the computer manage things and schedule things. This is kind of the backbone and the internal view of what a workflow looks like when a trigger happens. So if somebody comes in and they purchase the Deputy Apostle membership, which is one of the things that Bruce sells, there's a series of events that are going to happen. And one of them is they're going to get an email that is going to be every week. So every 7 days, they're going to get a series of emails. I haven't put them in here yet because I haven't completed them. I've got to put some links in the emails because we're going to include in those links, in those emails, links to his the video and a vlog that he created. The vlog is basically the video with the scrolling blog expressing some of the content on it. So it's a series of 29 weeks. So these each one of these got to be done individually. It's a lot of repetition, but we're hoping to have that up and running soon and pushing out. But as people purchase things within the site and a lot of the aspects of the site where uh, the form is presented to be only let me go to the order form really quick and I'll show you. Um, the order form is basically designed to give you only a few different options because we're really only selling four things that they can purchase. One is a music video EP and they can buy as many as they want. The other is a cap, and now you can buy multiple items. All this is for donations, going to help develop the marketing and the strategy to go get picked up and seen by whoever will help us get it out there, right? Deputy Apostle membership. You can get as many as you want, and you can donate up to $100 in increments of $100. So you could do $900. So you could throw really quickly. You could see a few $1,000s on your credit card, but we didn't want to go any bigger than that because we thought people would, if they wanted to donate a lot of more money, that they would want to call them or email them and have a discussion. Which he's had a few people do that, which is amazing already because we really haven't done anything. Um, but that's just sort of the basis of He's Alive and what we're doing now. These each one of these items in the order process of the Blessing Boutique and the website, they're easy accessible. You just go to the Blessings Boutique and you can read about them, each one of them, and then you can go place an order. I didn't do it like a general e-commerce site because there's only 4 items. And this way we could express more about each one. And a lot of this you can see is content because they're donating from the heart. They're just donating, right? But he's going to give them a few things if they donate. Deputy Apostle, and I'll let Bruce go into more detail here, but I want to just steal some of his thunder by saying this is 50 years in the making as he's listened to Jesus Christ Superstore. If you listen to the videos in his introduction and go through, what Bruce has done here, this is just unbelievable, and I'm really excited about it. And I think that at some point we're going to get a lot more visibility through the churches and the nonprofits and other people to make this come alive. And I'm excited about it. But go ahead, Bruce. Let's talk to Bruce McKagan. Bruce McKagan is our guy there's the brain behind the whole mastery of this whole thing. He's a brother of mine, and I love him very much. And Bruce McKagan's been in the music industry for 50 years, and I'm just going to share with him the ability. I'll do the screen if you want, or you can show your pretty face here in the group. We've got a few others on here, Peter and Easy, but go ahead, Bruce. How you doing, my friend?
Good, good. Uh, should I be embarrassed by
That
that?
introduction?
Well, yeah, wow.
Not at
Well,
all.
so what I think I should do is kind of take you along the line of what got me here. And I basically, I'm from Seattle. I've been in the music business as a player, as a agent, as a manager of musicians, and as a director and executive director in the music business throughout the country, going to different places since the 1970s. I have been my positions have progressed, and so in about 2010, 2011. I was introduced to a woman who was an author, a motivational speaker, beautiful Christian. While I was executive director of a nonprofit for homeless, I was introduced to her, and she had eyes on a theme song for a book that she had written of poems. And this is for middle school, high school kids. And so I sat down and wrote a song and had it produced by some people that I had been working with over the last 20 years or so, very much in the music business. And we produced a song that she loved and thought would be perfect for her book as kind of a theme song for the book. That went to an EP of 3 songs, which then went to an album of 11 songs that progressed over about a 3-month period. Um, and so I wrote an album for her, lots of discussion with her and all that. That album then became a musical. That again, 2010. I never had written a musical before. That led to a second musical with her called No Fear for Freedom, which was very well received in the Southeast, where we were from. And then there was a third musical that I wrote inside that decade called We Got Game. And I was really hooked in writing musicals all of a sudden. I didn't have experience in it, I just had a drive for it. And I had connections all across the country of resources of musicians and producers and sound engineers and so on and so vocalists that I could go to when needing a certain style, a certain anything in music. In 2019, I, my wife and I decided to retire and move back to Seattle home. Um, on the drive back, I said to God in a prayer, "What now, Lord?" What now? And I wasn't expecting an answer, but I got one immediately. And the voice in my head from God was, write your rock opera about my son. If yeah, some people know this, but Jesus Christ Superstar was released in 1970. I was a huge fan, um, not only because of the faith implications of the musical, but because it was rock and roll, and that's what I was into. And so I thought this a great musical, but one day somebody's got to write a end to it because Jesus Christ Superstar ends with the crucifixion. And I knew that somebody was going to write something at some particular time. And I often wondered if that would be me, but I wasn't ready for it way back then when I was in my 20s. So here he is, 50 years later, answering a question. And so I got to Seattle and immediately started writing because I was on a mission. And so one thing led to another, and we completed the compositions and the preliminary production of each of the 26 songs for this rock opera. And what happened then was there was a series of connections that I made. I had never really considered putting myself out there and marketing me. I always worked for large companies that I did everything for the companies. And so it was time. I was advised by a lot of people that were very interested in helping me out. I was advised to open up my own company called McKagan Entertainment. And with that, we had all of the musicals I had written. Besides, now we had the makings of my fourth musical called He's Alive, a rock opera. And I had written that musical. And so with the McKagan Entertainment, we decided what we're going to lead, what were we going to lead with? And we decided that was He's Alive, the newest one I'd written. We thought it had a lot of uh, um, pieces to it that we really wanted to share. And so uh, at the same time, I was at a in a Saturday Bible study, and one of the gentlemen there, his name was Jeff Egberg, he uh, he was getting into something that sounded very interesting to me as far as McKagan Entertainment was concerned, and that was online marketing. And after he was into it for about a year, he connected with me and said, "Hey, let's talk." And we talked, and we've been talking every day since. He is building this backbone of our company that we is just exploding right now. It's going in fantastic ways. Both he and I are learning as we go, but Jeff's tenacity, his dedication, he's a he's he's what do you, what's a good word for it? He's a bulldog.
Never give
He's
up.
just never give up, always working. And so it's been really fun to work with him. It's been enlightening to work with him. It's been productive to work with him on it. And so I'm an MBA fan and a fan of what he's doing. And we have not only been able to execute, but that we've got incredible things in the future. You're looking at just the top piece of what we've got planned to do.
Yeah,
That's
that's pretty
that's
amazing.
my story.
Your
Yeah.
story is very inspiring, but I want to add that this was a long way down the path before I really got involved. And all I'm really doing is inspiring him with new technology to try new things to get the word out by emails and text messages and getting now involved with the YouTube channel and starting to build that. And he has contacts of thousands of people that we've text and we're in the process of texting and emailing and just friends of friends. When you how it works is you get 1,000 people that really are inspired by you, and they just tell three people that there you go, you're off and running, and then it's get a legs of itself. That's the beauty of social media and what I think it's going to do, especially going into Easter. I'm inspired by the fact that we're going into the fact that the Easter season is coming and people are going to be looking. And this is like there's like a revolution going on. I don't know if what you guys are seeing online, but I see more and more conversations about Jesus and religion and faith more than ever. Would you agree, Bruce?
Yeah, well, I think our timing is good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
It's right.
we're
I
right.
like to I like to think that it's always out there, but yeah, you're right. There's ebbs and flows.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm pretty excited about this, and I'm diving in really big, like Bruce said, and I'm very appreciative of the opportunity. But Bruce is being pretty humble. He's been around the industry for a long time, and his family is very musical. He's got many brothers. How big is your family? 10?
Eight brothers and sisters.
8 brothers and sisters, and you're not the oldest and not the youngest.
Now I'm right in the middle.
And he's got a lot of life experience growing up Catholic in Seattle in the music industry in the '70s, being in bands, producing bands, being involved with some people. What is you know, in the '70s, music was a little bit different, right? When you were out there playing in the music.
Every year has been different, so that I can talk about that for ages. But I think really the one thing I want to underline here, no matter you're saying you weren't involved in it. Well, right now you're totally involved in it.
Yeah,
The timing of what the resources you can give and lend to people with companies like me are invaluable.
yeah,
And I think MBA is just really is stepping up to the plate. And as Tom always says, wrong metaphor, but a touchdown is what you're delivering.
yeah,
And I just great job.
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. And you can always get to the boutique right through his website to order. If you have any questions, contact him. We're looking to share the word and this rock opera. Now, I will add, being a Christian as Bruce is, he went a very extensive way deep into making sure that from the last 40 days, from the crucifixion to the resurrection, that he stayed very biblical, and he went as far as going to another friend of ours who was trained in the ministry and was going to be a Catholic priest, right? Gerard, was that what he was going to
I,
be?
I don't know that it was a Catholic priest, but he grew up Catholic. That I know.
Yeah, and he did a deep dive into the whole thing, the musics and the lyrics, and there's always that room for artistic expression because not everything was expressed in the Bible, right? We know that these guys were human and they did things, but by one thing I'm very proud of Bruce is being very, very much true to the scripture and biblical and following a certain strict guideline to say the message right? Not getting off on a tangent on anything that's too not scripture, too not biblical, right? Is that saying it the right way?
I don't know that I can represent the guardrails I put up. I have written musicals, and in them you need to capture audiences. You need to do different things. To get people to follow along,
Right.
and so inside of it, my deal was to expose who the apostles were, their characters. I mean, you got a doubting Thomas, you got denial from Peter, you got all these guys that,
Yeah.
you read what they got, what about them somewhat, but boy, oh boy, did what got them there really. So it was just good exploration.
Yeah. Well, just looking here at the characters that were played, these are people that are very talented that he went and found. that are in the music industry that have singing, and they're very, very good singers with you know, a lot of knowledge and experience in the music industry. Uh, Even Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses being the Apostle Matthew, right? So you listen to people that have a history, and there was one blog that you wrote that I read. You ran into a guy, and I can't remember his name. He has long hair, and you said he was a better
I,
guitarist than Slash and Guns N' Roses. What was his name? I don't.
don't let my brother hear that.
Oh,
Uh,
Dwight. Dallas Dwight.
Dwight, yeah, Dallas Dwight. Yeah, he's a prodigy. I met him when he was 19 years old, and he just blew me away then.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of stories to tell. This is mainly about MBA rather than Bruce's He's Alive, but and how MBA is helping me. Um, so I think the marketing of this opportunity is what we're engaged in right now and
Right.
going at it full steam.
Right. And with the social media and what we can do with Go High Level, and what I'm learning and trying to get really good at is the connectivity and the engagement that it has with social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. There's so much that it engages with, and it is in uh, 600 different tools in Go High Level that I'm not all of them I know. I mean, one of them I'm experiencing with Peter, one of my colleagues who happens to be on this call. Peter is uh, went to work for an equipment company, and he's got a database of you know 30,000 people in the equipment cleaning industry. And there's a tool within Go High Level where you can make a recording. This is part of the AI stuff. There's you know 30 different places of AI, but you can make a recording of a message and then put it into what we call a workflow. I'll show you the workflow really quick. Workflow, where you at? This is a workflow, and you can put in here to make a phone call, and it'll use your recording, call that number, and leave a voicemail. Now, granted, not everybody listens to their voicemail, but how many people can call 1,000 people in a day? You can with this tool. Now, the message can be, I'm just trying to reach out to you. I haven't talked to you in a while. I got some awesome things coming on. You got to come to my website. Check this out. Here's the web address. Call me at this number if you want to talk more. It could be something that friendly, that open, that short, or it can make it really professional and be really specific. That I'm actually calling you from a program, a software right now that's an AI tool within Go High Level. I can do this for you. And today I'm calling 5,000 people, and this is a message I'm going to leave them. You want to work with me and my business automated and do that for you? Give me a call. Here's my number. Here's my website. So, I mean, there's the technology is like, I don't even say, ask people, I don't try to express all the things it can do when I talk to people. I try to say to them, what do you think you want to do? What do you want to do? Get really creative. Think out of the box. What's your dream? What do you want to do? And I bet you there's a way to do it. We can make that happen.
Wow.
So there's a lot of things that I'm excited about with the future and what's going on right now, especially with new clients and people that I'm networking with. And I mean, this is my Facebook I did back last year for 4 months, and I had 17,000 people interact with me and enrolled. Now, just think if I can figure out a way to convert 10% of those, I wouldn't be worried too much about a whole lot of business right now. But that's just the part of the growth process, right? Um, but anyways, that's it. You guys got any questions? There's a few guys that we got on the call. I know Easy's really big into nonprofits. He might have something that pops up. I told him about Bruce before, and Easy's. You got any questions, Easy?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. It's a pleasure to meet you finally. I heard so much about you.
Yeah.
And I say hello to the other people and the other gentlemen on the call. Um, Bruce, I had a question. Is the magnanimity of this enterprise that you're doing, and I've mentioned this to Jeff, have you ever considered putting a nonprofit aspect to it?
I, yeah, of course, because I'm not in it to make money. I have other missions that I'm doing that so it aligns itself with it. I know that there are opportunities with nonprofits. I have orchestrated some, bringing them into nonprofits. It's an arduous task. And I decided to not do it because it's a little bit easier right now just to get in and start to discover what your business is and how it's going to go. I think we've gotten to a point right now that some of the people I'm working with in the company are considering partnerships and or whatever. We're considering He's Alive as being a nonprofit arm of McKagan Entertainment.
Right.
And so portions of it, but we really haven't, you see, we really haven't taken the aggressive steps in trying to accomplish that.
I totally understand that. I think like you said, it is arduous. It's a lot of work. People don't realize it's a corporation as well. Um, but maybe at some point we can talk further about it because the way I work with nonprofits is we take a lot of that burden off, especially with idea making and generating revenue generating strategies and things. Because as a director, as the owner, not an owner, but as a founder and director, you don't have time when you're doing this vision to handle all that administrative stuff. So we have a process to take all that away, still the founder's vision, but we add on the people that can do all that back end stuff to generate that revenue. And I just think that because of the vision, I think the donations would flow tremendously. I just think it's just, gosh, my goodness, I can't even imagine. I'm working with some that I'm even surprised they're generating the revenue they're generating, and they're not doing anything like this.
They don't
You
even have a
know, this
website,
is
do they? Easy. They don't have a website. They don't even really have a vision. I just looked into that. You told me a little bit about that. There's people that are getting checks just because they're nonprofits because they people get a tax break when they give to a nonprofit, right? And if they like the person or the group or their vision, they can give a lot of money. So that's one thing to consider. I would like to hear more about that from my perspective of how that would interact with Go High Level and how we could implement that within Go High Level and use High Level to be part of that. And let's say, for instance, Bruce doesn't really want to do it right now. He does it maybe later, but I'm interested in developing more with Go High Level to market towards that.
okay.
Easy,
Yes, sir.
make it simple. Give me a call.
I was just thinking, and I said, you know what I think I'm gonna do over the next week or two? I'm gonna do a write up too for you, so you can have something to look at. If that's okay. Some people
That's
don't want to
that's
read.
that's that's absolutely fine. Jeff, can you share emails
Uh-huh.
at some particular time between
Yep.
Easy and me?
Yep. For sure. Yeah. God
Yeah,
bless. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not
Yeah,
sure
babe.
the
Yeah, yeah.
work, when you say the administration work, that's interesting to me. So there's a lot of extra paperwork and time consuming things that that nonprofits have to do, right? Reports and that. Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole
Yeah.
different business. A whole different business. You got to
It's
watch
different
every
business.
P and Q and everything, and make sure you're doing it the way that the 501(c)(3) wants you to do it.
Hey,
Mhm.
easy. Is there a way that some of this stuff can be automated by having specific documents within files and technology in a folder within an account? High level to a certain degree, right? So
Yes.
let's just use from the perspective of technology how that could be minimized to alleviate that pressure and express that really well
Well, I
to
think high level could be, excuse me, I apologize, Jeff.
yeah.
Yeah, I think high level could be used in some of the automation and the AI tools that are available as far as donor outreach. That's what I'm looking at more so. Donor outreach, um, some management of a few functions. You could use a typical CRM. High level does have a CRM. The uh, we need donor software, volunteer management software. All this is not very expensive. However, it's a setup and something that high level can participate in some degree. I'm not sure they could do everything that it would need because high level is not specific to the needs of the nonprofit. But there are some things can be done, and I'll share that information with you as well. I want to meditate on it some more and think of this high level view of how this might be able to help the vision, the vision of what he's doing. But the outreach, I think, would just be phenomenal. Just be phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But I appreciate that. I'll make sure I get that to you. Give me about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've been promising you for a while to introduce
Okay.
you to Bruce, and I know that Bruce has I mentioned it to him briefly, but this is a networking group, a global business network group where it might not be something that Bruce wants to do now. There's no pressure. It's just all for the kingdom, right? We're all doing work for bigger and better and letting God lead us. And there might be something that Bruce has that could direct easy and make things easy for easy. How about that one?
I'm sure he's never heard that before.
Yeah,
That's
right.
I'm
But
getting
the worst one, when I was younger, I used to always get, especially, and this is the real deal from women. Are you really easy?
oh no. You
I-
said no, I'm not. I'm a believer.
Oh yeah, we
At
can
that time, I might have
we,
been, but
yeah, we can
Yeah,
leave that alone, easy. We
yeah.
can
yeah,
leave
we
that
We
will.
alone.
all been there, easy. We all been there. We were
Hey,
all young at one time.
wrong time for an introduction, but Glenn Aiden, is that
Glenn
your
Aiden.
name,
Yeah.
Glenn?
Yeah, Glenn
I'm
came
seeing
in.
on the screen.
I saw that Glenn came in. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Glenn is a brother from church. He's on mute and screen share, but he's probably just listening in. Appreciate it, Glenn. Oh, there he is.
there
Can't
he
talk
is.
right now. Can't talk right now.
Okay,
Okay.
no
But I'm
worries.
listening. I'm listening.
Okay.
No worries. Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, like I expressed, this is an example of what I've been sharing with people is two things is Saturdays are tough for some people because they're busy and people have a business they're running. And then the other thing is you don't have to come every week. I'm going to record these and put them on the website and it's going to be right here and everybody should get this. It says past meeting recordings and agenda and I'm going to post them in a little bit. Last week we did Peter discussing about Aramco and the equipment business industry. This was the first one as more of an introduction, but I'm going to probably change the format as we have hundreds of videos in here, but you're going to see that they're all going to be accessible with the agenda, the Zoom link, so you can get in. But I'll unless Tom has got a question for Bruce, which I he might. We're gonna end this in a minute here. So go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I was just going to say that those meetings probably deserve their own tab, their own web page.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, and I want to really encourage people. So I'm trying to figure out a way to, as the group grows, I say here, text message to send to your friends, copy and paste. I wrote a text message for you can copy it and send it in an
Right.
email or a text. I mean, just trying to do what I can. And this tells the story. It's a 3 sentence, little quick note, the growth, and we're trying to develop through prayer and encouragement and leadership as business people that are trying to just survive in this world. You have a seat at the table. You just got to get involved. That's kind of my mission is getting high level people. Now, we all I think really big. Peter and Bruce always try to dial me back. Come on, Jeff, think realistic here. I don't want 1,000 people in this group next week. I'm like, why not? There's 1,000 people out there that need us right now, right? So, developing this to help people grow, and they got the right mission. Glenn has a great way to put it. I don't know if I say it right, but he says making sure you're in line with people that are in line with you, and if you're aligned, then you get involved. But you got to make sure they're in line with you, and you're doing the right thing to help others with support, prayer, encouragement, developing networking, and I'll leave it with that. But Thomas is I'm going to put him on the spot for next week to do his little presentation about MedStrong. Tom is a doctor, occupational environmental medicine doctor, works for the government and has a lot to share. He's starting a company on the side with me called MedStrong, which is pretty exciting. So that's the future. God bless and see you next time. And stay on here, guys, so we can still talk.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
All right, thank you. Pleasure meeting everybody.
Yeah.
Take care, y'all.